practice today?
Practice was great today. We had a short practice yesterday before we took off for Atlanta, and the guys had fun last night, but they were dialed in today, so I'm excited.
Saw where the guys were getting into the cold tub today. Can you just talk about some of the reactions to getting into that after that cold practice?
Yeah, I've played in places like New York and Cleveland, and I watched pros get in cold tub even when it was 5 degrees outside. Our guys aren't used to that, but they handled it well. We want to stay on a routine that is as close to what we used all season as possible. So part of that is helping our bodies recover, and Monday's cold tub. So the guys got in, and I hope they enjoyed it.
What is the secret to having a successful bowl game experience in terms of time management and balancing the fun with also the focus?
Yeah, the bowl is going to be fun, and especially a bowl like this. The Peach Bowl has already been an unbelievable experience, and the people are helping us to have the best experience possible. But you need to be here to focus on the game, and I think our players right now are focused on the game. We're still going to have a ton of fun and a lot of activities and things to do, so I know the guys will enjoy the experience, but our focus needs to be on the football game and getting ready to play.
Have you decided what you're going to do at left tackle, and how much of a concern is that for you against a defensive line that's as daunting as that?
Yeah, Auburn has a really good team. They've beat some teams that are some of the best in the country. They played with another team that's in the playoff. This is one of the best teams in college football, and I think the strength of their team is their front four. So our guys are going to have their work cut out for them up front. It's unfortunate we have to have a change up front going into this game, but we're going to have guys ready. We got a plan in place, and we got some different options to take care of it if we need to. So we're practicing, and the guys will be ready to go.
But can you say he's going to start at left tackle?
I could, but I'm not going to.
How has the offensive line progressed as a whole?
The job Coach Austin's done with the offensive line is unbelievable. I think 2 years ago that was the weakest part of our football team. We had a lot of rushing yards this year and gave up very few sacks, and the job that the offensive line and Coach Austin did is remarkable. We're not all the way to where we would like to be as a program yet, but you can't take away from what those guys accomplished, and they're going to go into this game in battle. I have no doubt of that.
Did Aaron Evans make the trip?
Yeah, Aaron's here.
Who's the best pass rusher you guys have faced this season?
I don't know. There's been 12 games. I'd have to go back and think about it, but we played some good ones.
Shaquem Griffin was announced today as getting the class award. Can you just talk a little bit about what he's meant to this team and him getting that award?
Shaquem is a special person. I'll be friends with Shaquem the rest of my life. He's just the kind of guy you want to be around. He's always there for his teammates, always has a smile on his face, and is always the hardest working person on your team. That's the kind of player that you want to coach and be around. So any credit that Shaquem gets, I'm thrilled for him.
You've said before that Mackenzie Milton doesn't get enough credit for what he does on the field. Can you just talk a little bit about what his role has meant to the team this year and what kind of part he's played in this undefeated run?
Well, I'm happy for Mackenzie, but I'm happy for the team because of the way Mackenzie's played. A lot of things that are happening for us on offense happen because he makes good decisions and has done some unbelievable things with the football. And he came a long way. The improvement from year one to year two is astounding with him. But he's been a vital part of our team, and he's developed into a good leader and a guy that the guys all play for and rally around. So he's had an unbelievable year, and I'm thrilled for him.
What have you seen out of Auburn's running back, Kerryon Johnson, in terms of what his strengths are?
Well, you watch Auburn's tape, and there's NFL players on the field at a lot of positions. We kind of have some small guys that can run. They have big guys that can run. I've been in games like that before, and it's always an interesting matchup. But, they have fantastic football players. They're coached well. They're prepared well. And they have a bunch of guys that are going to be playing on Sundays. I think Johnson is one of them. He's a special player, and we actually watched him as we were getting ready for Arkansas State a year ago make some plays that were amazing. So he's been doing it a long time, and we have our work cut out for us.
As an offense that's done so well at throwing the ball deep, and they're secondary that keeps the top on the coverage very well, what are things that you've seen on tape that maybe they're able to do better than opponents that you were able to succeed against this season in keeping the top on the coverage?
Where are you from?
I'm from New York, but I cover Auburn.
Listen, they're good at a lot of different positions. You know, I don't think they're too complicated on defense. They just have really good players doing it, and they're sound, which is what you want to do. So we're going to have to win some one-on-one matchups, and we're going to have to give the quarterback time and be smart with the plays we're in.
Is there a defense you face this season similar to Auburn in terms of their scheme or anything?
Again, I don't know. I'm not going to compare Auburn to anybody we played. We're not playing, haven't played anybody else this year that has made a New Year's Bowl game. So I'm not going to compare Auburn to any of them. They're a really good team.
We had actually a really good practice day, probably one of our best Mondays of the year.
What made
Why
it
was
one
it
of the
good?
best?
Everybody was just locked in. We didn't have many mistakes. You know, you could tell people were dialed in and dialed into what we were trying to accomplish and know what we come up here for. And that was the thing that I've seen change from last year to this year is everybody's a lot more dialed in and focused to what's going on and knowing what we came up here to accomplish, and we're ready.
Since Aaron has gone down, how have you seen the offensive line progress?
I think we just adapted a little bit. You know, it's obviously different. You know, you're losing a leader and whatnot, but still having him on the field and being able to kind of pitch in and chip in whenever something goes wrong, and if he can say something, correct Jake or whatever, it helps out a lot. But not much has changed. You know, it's just a little bit different. It's just a different feel. You know, we've worked through that the past couple of weeks, and it feels good now.
What did you think of Mercedes-Benz being in there?
It was awesome. You know, I'm from South Georgia, so I was actually up here 2 weeks ago to come watch my high school play in the state championship, and they canceled the game. So that was I was looking forward to see it then, but it was an unreal experience. You know, that's the kind of stuff you dream about as a kid playing in an NFL stadium. So I'm pretty excited.
What's the biggest step forward that you have noticed Mackenzie Milton taking this season?
As far as a leader, you know, his leadership and kind of growing up on the field and kind of taking that role as a quarterback. You know, when you think of a quarterback, you think of a leader and you think of a guy that you can look to when things go wrong, and he's stepped up in that aspect a lot and has just kind of been that strong and steady force throughout the season. When things go wrong, he's like, hey, we're good. And I try to be there too, but he does a really good job of that, and that's where I see as a whole, as a team, we've stepped up too. We don't panic when things go wrong. We kind of keep our calm and kind of say, hey, we got a lot of game left. We can move forward. So that's where I've seen this team and Mackenzie grow the most.
What have you seen from Auburn's front seven, particularly the defensive line in preparation for this game?
They're good. They're big and they can move, and we've got a tough challenge ahead of us. But we're ready. We're ready to tackle it. You know, they've got some good players and some big guys, but it's a challenge that we're looking forward to.
What do you think of the individual matchups you'll have with Marlon Davidson and Jeff Holland?
Jeff Holland's number 4. Is that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think they're good. You know, like I said, they're good players, and we're gonna have our work cut out for us. But it's at the end of the day, it's still football. You know, it's a one-on-one matchup. It's who wants to win. It's a one man against another. Who's going to impose their will on the other one, and it's just a battle. That's what you got to love about the game is as a team, it's a team aspect, but there's one-on-one matchups going on all over the field at all times, and whoever's got the most grit and whoever wants to win the most is going to win that matchup, and so that's what you love about the game. So that's what we're excited about.
Who would you say was the toughest individual matchup for you this season?
This season, I don't know. We played a bunch of good defense ends. Number 99 from SMU, defensive end from Temple was pretty good, but you know, we played a bunch of good guys. I don't want to point out anybody, but it was a good season there.
There were at least 4 games this season that you guys could have lost, and the defense has really come through with big plays when they needed to. Can you just talk a little bit about what the defense has done this year?
Well, last year, you know, we relied on the defense a lot, and I feel like we kind of got to flip the script a little bit this year and kind of change roles, whatnot. But that's been the force that has been behind this team at all times. We know our defense is going to be there, and we know that they're going to save us if we ever get into some trouble. We always have faith that if anything's going wrong, the defense is going to make something happen. They're going to get a stop. And I feel like I was saying what has changed, that hasn't changed. They've been a constant force throughout both these years and kind of just something that we can rely on. You know, if we're having a couple of drives in a row that we're struggling and whatnot, that I know, hey, we're going to be all right because the defense is going to keep holding them. We're going to find a break here in a little bit, and it's going to be okay.
One or two more here.
What's the biggest challenge of keeping everything as normal as possible during a bowl game week where you have all kind of activities and things going on?
Well, obviously it's a challenge in itself. Coming to a bowl game, you're away from home. You're not into your normal schedule and whatnot. So I think the biggest thing is just, like I said earlier, realizing why you came up here and what you're up here for. You know, we came up here to win a football game. That's all we came to do. We didn't come to go shoot basketball or race go-karts. We came to win a football game and add another W on our column. So I think that's the biggest thing, you know, just keeping these young guys and guys that haven't been in this atmosphere before locked in and knowing like exactly what we came to do.
There's also a little bit of an audition for the next coaching staff coming in.
Yeah, you could say that. You know, it's but I don't like to think about it like that. It's just another game. This is our last game with this staff, but we have to enjoy it like it is our last one or whatever. But we just have to play like any other game. You know, football is football, no matter who you're playing for. There might be different schemes, might be different, you know, whatever. But it's still a game at the end. It's one-on-one matchups, and you're just trying to win that. So obviously, it's a little audition. You know, we know who's watching and whatnot, but still football at the end of the day.
All right, Mike, thank you.
Heard that the practice was pretty good. Tell me about, you know, how the experience of the practice before the game here.
I'm glad we could get in there and run around a little bit so we can get a feel for how it feels in there. But everybody came to work today, so I'm feeling good about where we're headed. We're not ready yet, but I feel like we will be come here soon.
What things have you seen out of Auburn's skill players, specifically Kerryon Johnson, and what is it going to take to stop those guys?
It's going to take everything we got. We're going to have to play our best game, and we know that. And I feel like that's why we're practicing like that. And coaches, he's drilling in our heads that this has to be our best game if we want to win it.
There were about 4 games that you guys could have lost this season, and a lot of the times the defense had to come up with the big play. What's the journey that you guys have taken this season, and how are you guys always able to pull that off?
The love for each other, I guess. We play for each other, and I feel like when we're down, there's always somebody on the team that's going to pick one of us up. So it's the family thing, and like Coach Frost he created something here, and it's worked, and everybody's confident. We play for each other.
Shaquem, what was your reaction when you heard you got the award?
Oh, well, to be honest, I just found out. I didn't know during practice. I didn't check my phone or anything. So, you know, it's exciting. I mean, I'm thankful, and I'm glad everybody voted for me and, you know, showed support. I mean, that takes a lot. You know, I went against a lot of good candidates, and, you know, anybody could have won. And, you know, I'm glad to bring it back home to Orlando.
What was your reaction when you walked into the stadium today?
I couldn't look down for some reason. My head was just sitting up there looking at the screen the entire time, and I know coaches were saying don't get distracted by, you know, the stadium and all that. I can't lie, I was a little distracted when I first got in there, to be honest. And then, mind you, it was cold outside, and once we got in, it felt warm. I was like, okay, this is what it feels like to be inside a Mercedes-Benz dome. So that was awesome, man. I was excited. I started yelling and screaming and took off running just because it felt good to be in there, and I'm just excited to play in it.
What made today a successful practice? Ross said it was probably one of the best that you guys had.
Just because we did so much just to make it where we are today, and, you know, we felt good just to be able to be on this field and have an opportunity to play in the Peach Bowl because, you know, a lot of teams will do anything to get here and have an opportunity to be on this stage and practice inside of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's amazing. Like, it's my first time. You got guys from Atlanta first time. I mean, the hype and everything about it brings the energy itself. And for us to come out there and practice and go fast, you're on the NFL level. You have no choice but to do everything right because, you know, you see guys in front of you and guys in the league doing the right thing. You know, it kind of gives you that sense, like, you know what, I'm on this stage and might as well do everything right.
You faced some interesting quarterbacks this year so far. What do you see about Auburn's quarterback that so far that is concerning?
I mean, he has a really good arm, man. He's really good with making good decisions, and we got to make sure that we can stay key on what we have to do, and making sure that we can contain him, and making sure that we do what we have to do pertaining to seeing the different reads and seeing what we get out of offense and knowing what scheme they're going to bring to us. And you know, I feel that with going against him, it's going to be a tough battle, but I feel like if we do the right thing, you know, we'll be in good shape.
Shaquem, what has it meant to you to be an inspiration for so many other kids that look up to you?
I mean, it means a lot. Everything I've been doing and working hard and fighting adversity and going over different barriers, it goes to show that me doing that can help others. And like I always say, me helping somebody else can help another. And, you know, I'm going to stick to that. And, you know, I'm always have doubters, and everybody behind me will always have doubters. And my whole thing is to make sure I keep proving doubters wrong, because if I can do so, anybody can. And, you know, I'm going to make sure I stay behind that and stick to my story. And, you know, never feel like anything I have is a disability, because it's not, because I can do anything I put my mind to.